Welcome back to the Prospered Soul podcast. I am your host, Lana McMurray, and I thank you for joining me on my initial launch of this podcast and different ahas I'm getting throughout this journey, as the purpose for initially starting this was just to open up my mouth and talk, which is a way to get your confidence and your energy, really to get the energy flowing and to get out of overthinking and get out of your head and tap into your heart and realize that you are enough. So today, talking about really quickly the difference between self-love and self-concept. And the reason for the exploration for the self-love is that it is an area that actually generates the type of atmosphere and experiences you're going to have in your life. We have a default tendency, an energetic pattern, a general baseline of energy in which we all possess. And it's what makes us unique and different from everyone. And it's this, how science says energy cannot, energy cannot be destroyed or created or something like that. I don't have it pulled up here, but you have to transmute it. You have to transform the energy. So you have to work with what you have, which is genius of God. You have to work with what you have, and you are responsible for protecting your energy and for creating the type of energy that level so there's 7 different types of levels of energy, but we'll get into that another time. But you go all the way from the lowest frequency to the highest frequency that you could have, that we know of right now. Of course, there could be more things that we don't know about. However, with the energy of love, which is one of the highest frequencies, it is a embodiment that will give you a beautiful life, peace, loving relationships, respect, money. That baseline of how you feel about yourself most of the time, that's the frequency that attracts people of a similar frequency to you. Self-love is learning how to love and care for yourself as the individual, the person that you are, without having to make one change, not one change to yourself. Being able to have that much appreciation and value in yourself, to where you accept yourself right now without needing to change anything at all. And I mean not wanting and needing, even more than wanting to change, literally feeling like you don't need to change anything. Now, I'm not saying be tacky and rude and prideful and feel like you don't have nothing to change. I'm talking about being self-accepting, feeling complete and worthy and lovable and good enough, not needing to change anything. Just being able to sit in that and be okay and not need to reach for 5 pounds lost, eyelashes longer, muscles toned bigger. For men, certain things that they might want bigger. For women, things that they wish were bigger or tighter. Not needing to change a thing. Being able to sit in that energy is phenomenal and will create within you a attraction that brings to you experiences that match that level of love, that deep essence of appreciation for yourself as you are. That is what I'm working on right now for myself. And I am doing it not just so I can have different things in my life, but because it is what everyone should have. We all should value ourselves, see our worth, love ourselves, connect and tap in and tune into that love, who you are, because you can't get that love outside of yourself, not from your parents, not from your brothers or sisters, your cousins, your uncles, your aunts, your grandmas, and your grandpa. That real love comes from the inside of you. And that is what you fill yourself up with. And I have gotten away from that for too long. I appreciate, being who I am and what I've been able to do thus far. But I can always be more loving, first to myself. So you want to tune into the love that you actually are. Allow that to fulfill you and give you that sense of completeness and wholeness, to give you that belief of being beautiful and being alive and feeling like as if everything is just the way it needs to be. Nothing needs to be changed. You can't make yourself any better. If you tried, you are enough. You are enough. You have enough. There is enough. There has always been enough. And letting yourself be that way first, whole, then getting involved with someone that you choose to partner up with, that you naturally attract to yourself because you're a match. They come in matching your energy. Your friends come in matching that energy. Even your family relationships change. It's the order of the world. You start internally with how you really believe and how you feel and think about yourself and how you treat your own self. Then you won't tolerate it from anyone else, even if you're married to them. Case in point, that's how I went for my divorce. I started working within myself. I started loving myself and giving myself grace, and I stopped being willing to tolerate any mistreatment, And I made a decision to leave. And it worked out for me. And it's just that clear. It's just that easy to get out of relationships. Not everything is toxic. Not everyone is toxic. And some people have different little percentages of toxicity in them because of experiences that they've had. They're not necessarily a narcissist or a verbal abuser, but they could have been hurt and injured. And that's why they choose different reactions that might belittle you or make you feel betrayed. But when you do see yourself in a negative pattern with someone and it's just not getting any better, I would say instead of being on your knees and praying for that situation to change, turn the prayers towards yourself and listen to yourself. Journal, like we talked about yesterday. Write down what's going on so you can pace yourself. You can separate yourself from what's happening and be objective. But really consider what you're worth. That's an idol if you're putting another person and they're damaging you, trauma bonding you, and you're staying there because you think you're supposed to, because that's a spiritual thing to do. That's actually making that person into an idol, because you're not supposed to let your body get damaged. And they are choosing to do that. And they don't have the right to do that. Not to you. They can do that on their own, by themselves, alone. You don't have to be in that circle. So, self-love is different than self-concept. And real quickly, self-concept is about training yourself to think and feel and see yourself in a certain way. It's about developing your thoughts that are in your about yourself and matching them to what your desires that come out of self-love, because you first self-love yourself and then you start to connect with the desires. Then you use your self-concept to bring those into pass. So it all works together. Not one is better than the other. The law of assumption is not better than the law of attraction. And again, Christianity is not better than Buddhism. There's no better. We're all equal here. We need to walk in love and stop with this, you're Abraham speaking the devil, and we can't listen to this, and that strictness. We don't know. Just as as the Bible says, you know God for yourself. Definitely. Because slavery came from Christianity. So we can't just jump all on that. It has its errors too. And again, I say and can talk about Christianity because that's the religion I know. I don't know nothing about any other ones. I never was a Catholic. I never was into Hinduism or Buddhism or Mormonism. I only knew the one from been going to church all my life. And I did develop my own relationship and my own love walk with God. And I continue to that day. And it has kept me through deaths and really bad times. So, practice tapping in to the love that you already have within you. Sitting with that and just being in acceptance of yourself for as long as you can. You can start like for 3 minutes and work yourself up to 15 minutes. Just that energetic practice alone will produce within you changes automatically in your material world, what they call the 3D. All right, well, thank you so much for listening. I have information in the description box with some links if you would like to talk with me or work with me. You can find all the links there, and we'll have a conversation again tomorrow. Goodbye.